What's up guys, this is Victor with AA and Beak, and I'm going to show you how I turn this ordinary piece of wood into this awesome looking cutting board. The wood I decided to use for this project is Quartersawn sapele. This wood comes from Africa, and the color and character on this wood is absolutely gorgeous. The first thing I did was measure the sapele and cut into more manageable pieces. When I make these rough cuts, I like to give myself a couple inches of extra wiggle room. If my glue joints aren't perfect at the ends of the boards, it's easier to cut them off if I have enough length left over. Did I mention the wood smells amazing? Then I check to see which face is the flattest. I then run the wood through my joiner to create a nice flat face. After I have a flat face to reference from, I run the wood through the planer and you can see the beautiful character coming out of the wood. I then go over to my bandsaw to rip the boards down to their final width. I like to use a bandsaw for ripping exotic woods because the kerf on the blade is so thin that I don't lose as much material as I would have if I used a table saw. Then it's back to the joiner. I use the joiner to clean up the edges of the pieces to make a nice tight glue up. Now it's glue up time. I lay all the pieces in an order that I think looks pretty good. After the board is glued, I run it through my planer to clean off the glue squeeze out. Then I square off the ends at the miter saw. Here, I set the angle of my miter gauge to a 15-degree slant and rip the boards down. I then rotate the pieces to get the chevron effect I'm aiming for. Now it's time for a second glue up. After this glue up, I try and scrape away as much glue as I can. Then I use my Festool Rotex sander to sand the rest of the glue away before I run it through my drum sander. My drum sander can be a little finicky if there is any glue on the surface of the wood. The glue can sometimes bog down the sandpaper. Now it's time to square up the board. I mark a line with my square and rip a straightish edge on the bandsaw. Then I use that straight end and run it along the fence of my table saw to square off the other end. Then it's sanding. And more sanding. And then some more sanding. I like to use a 1/4-inch roundover bit to soften the edges of the board. Now comes my favorite part, the finish. I'm using General Finish's salad bowl finish. Applying the finish is like painting. I'm a terrible painter, but I feel like one when I apply the finish. And here's the final board in all its glory. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. The ribbon effect from the sapele gives the chevron design a pretty cool look. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. To watch more videos, make sure to subscribe below, and I'll see you next time.